everybody. So I'm here in the shop doing some work, modifying the backrest, but I thought about the fact that I have had several people ask about how I've got my accessories wired on the bike. So I thought I'd take a few minutes while I'm here and go through that and show you guys how I've got my Apple CarPlay mounted, how I've got it wired to the bike, and how I've got it wired into the speakers and into my Sena. And so hopefully this will help some of you guys out that are looking to kind of modernize your Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager or Vaquero, and we'll see if this is helpful at all. Alright, so here is my Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager, and of course you recognize the dash, and the same exact setup is on any of the Vaqueros. And it doesn't matter whether you have the 2009 all the way up to the 2024 models, or on the Vaqueros you've got the 2011 all the way up. Every bit of this will apply. They haven't made any changes. So if you'll see right here, and I'll turn it on here in a minute, this is my Apple CarPlay device. I'll put a link in the description for the brand and the one that I actually bought, but there are multiple out there and they're identical, and you can get them off of Amazon or other places. But we'll show you this one. I'm going to show you first how I've got it mounted, and then I'll show you how I've got it wired up. Super simple mount. You can see it comes with this mount right here, and I just have it mounted right in between the two posts on the handlebar and situated there. I found this to be the best place for me because I can get it situated right dead center, and I can sit it right below all my gauges so it doesn't cover up any of these gauges. And the only thing it covers is the radio, but I don't need to see the radio at all because this in my application replaces the radio. And the other accessory that I have out here, this is a phone mount. You can use whatever you want. This is a wireless charging phone mount. It's what I have chose to use. I also have my heated grips, and these are the Oxford heated grips. These things work great, and you can see that I just mounted the controller right here using this bolt here. Seems to work just fine. And then over here I have a cup holder. Everything that you get out there seems to be made for Harley-Davidson, so in a lot of cases you have to do some modifying. I had to buy different screws than what came with it, but using the spacers I was able to get this to work. This right here is my mirror extensions. This is probably one of the first things that I bought, and one of the best and cheapest accessories. Got this off of Amazon, I'm sure, but that right there is definitely worth having. Alright, so let's talk about how I have this connected to the system. So I am running down underneath my tank and all the way back to the battery area. I'm running all my accessories, and let me see, I'll show you some of my others. So the heated grips are running back to the battery area. Of course, the wireless charging is. I also have down here, and I don't know if you can see it. See if I can get over here. That is another USB right here. That's another USB. I've got it covered, but that's in case I want to say if I'm using a GoPro or something and long term and I want to run it off the battery, and instead of running it off the battery I want to charge it while it's going. I just put that extra there on the side. Let's see, I will show you where I've got my Bluetooth device. It is inside of here. So let me get that open and I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll go back to the battery and I'll show you what I've got going on there. All right, maybe you can see right here. You'll see that little box back there that has the green top. That is plugged into one of the wiring harnesses that come inside of this left glove compartment, and plugged into it is a little 1/8 inch cable that runs back and is plugged into a USB adapter that I have back behind, that I've mounted back behind the glove compartment. And that USB device also emits Bluetooth at the same time that it is charging. So I will show you all of that is run back to the battery area, and I'll show you all that here shortly. Okay, at this point, if you're keeping track of any, you can see that I have a lot of accessory devices going back to the battery area. So I have the Apple CarPlay device, I have my heated grips, and I have a wireless charging for my phone. I have an auxiliary USB charging port, and then I'm also charging the inside of the fairing. I have another USB charging port that is charging the Bluetooth device. And so you can't just run those back and try to put all that on your battery. So what I've done is added in a something that'll help support all of that, and I'll show you that now. Okay, I don't know if you're aware, but on the as you're sitting on the bike, it'd be on the right hand side underneath this cover plate right here. There is an auxiliary cable that Kawasaki has provided. Now it is tied to the battery to give you a plus signal to give you power, but it is tied into the ignition, so you only have power going to that when the ignition switch is on. So that is a great accessory. If you just have one accessory you want to add, you can add straight to it, and it is underneath this cover. You can take this cover off and it's right there. I'm not going to take all that off, but since I had so many accessories, what I did was I went and bought, and I'll have all of this in the description of which one I actually bought, and then I'm also going to show up on the screen my wiring diagram that I drew up so I could keep up with what I did. But I bought a 30 amp relay, a relay that has a 30 amp fuse, and it is back inside of here, and then it is connected to this fuse block, and I added this fuse block here. So what happens is all of my accessories are coming back to this. So I have my heated grips coming back to here, I have my Apple CarPlay device coming back to here, I have my USB hubs coming back into here also. And so this does not get power until the bike ignition starts, and so each of these have individual fuses. So if one particular device can kick one of these fuses, but then these are all tied back to a relay that also has a 30 amp fuse on it. So I'm kind of protected all the way. So I'm running back here. So then I actually only have one going back to the positive and the ground posts on the battery. I have been running this for quite a while, and it seems to work flawlessly. And so that is something, I'll have the description of that. the relay and everything else I got. Now let's switch over and let me show you how I've got the connection done the best I can for the Apple CarPlay. Alright, so now I'm sitting on the bike. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually turn it on and you will see the device start up. It takes a little bit of time to boot up. Now I've currently got it paired to my Sena headset, and I'll talk to you about how I did that. So it should boot up and go straight to Apple CarPlay. It's a little bit, takes a little bit of time. It's a little slow, but there you go. So it's loading Spotify. So we'll go show you here. So you got Maps, Spotify, pretty much anything, you know, pretty much any of your standard things that you'd want Apple CarPlay. It can also do, go back to home. Of course, also if you had Android Auto, it can connect to Android Auto. So go back here, there's Apple CarPlay there, so you can see how that is connected. So how did I initially connect to that? So let's go to Car Home, and then if you go to Settings, what I did was, when I first went to Settings, first thing you've got to do is you've got to connect this device and pair it to whatever items. Now and there's the what you're going to be looking for. It'll give you the name of that. So you're going to pair it to your phone, just like you would. So you would go in and make sure you got that, and you would look and pair to your phone. So the first thing you do is you pair to the phone. Now then that is going to receive that. Once you pair it to your phone, then that's how you're going to get either your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But which is what you'll see I've got going on here. But then you've got to get this device to be able to play out through one of two choices. If you want it to play through your speakers and you have a Bluetooth transmitter like I have connected, then what you have to do is you have to go to Bluetooth Admit. All right, right now you can see that it is connected to my Sena 20S Evo. It's connected to that. What I'm going to do is disconnect that, turn it off, and see, now you see automatically it starts playing through the speakers that are inside of it, which you'd never want. But let's turn back on Bluetooth Emit right here. I'm going to turn it back on and see if it'll find. Alright, right here now it's finding this is my Bluetooth transmitter that I have connected inside of the compartment on the left. So I'm going to pair to it. Connected. And as you can hear right there, now it's connected to my speakers. And what I've got is I've got the speakers. Let's see if I can go around and show the radio. I don't know if you can see. Let's go around here. If you can see that it, I don't know, maybe you can see that that is set to aux. So I always keep it set on aux. So I have that set. So now I am connected to the Bluetooth, to the speakers on the bike. So if I go over here to music and I'll play just a little bit of this, you will hear it come through the speakers. now, so if I want to listen to Bluetooth or have my, I want to listen to music coming out my speakers, I can do that. If I want to listen to it in my Sena, then I have to go back over here to Bluetooth admit right here, and see that's connected. So I got to disconnect that. You see it's unpaired, so I've got to go find my Sena. And so I'm gonna have to put the Sena back in pairing mode. So every device is a little different, but on the Sena, let's see if I can show you here. Here's the Sena. If you hold this device down, so you're pairing it almost like you're pairing to a second phone. Okay, so in the Senas, you hold this for 6 seconds. And then it's flashing, then I hit the phone button. So now it is in phone pairing for the second device. Now I'm going to come up here, and it should show up. So now you see that my Sena 20 shows up. And now it's connected. So now, when I play music, or play any of this, it's going to play in my Sena headset. Now the benefit of that is, the benefit of all of that is the fact that you can then, if you're getting a call, it'll show up on the screen. You can answer it in your Sena headset. You can also hear text messages. If you have that turned on, it'll read it out to you. You can turn that feature on in settings, and you go to announce messages, and you can turn on announcements, and it'll read it, and you can read it in your headset and that sort of thing. So there's benefits of that. So I don't know if any of this is super helpful to you guys, but hopefully it is. If you got any other questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll try to answer it in another video, or at least answer you in that. Oh, also I forgot about this. I have a TPS sensors on my wheels, on my tires, and there's my little sensor readout, so I can always see real quick when I get on the bike what pressure I've got on my tires. So that's always nice to have too. Forgot about that little device. It's not connected to anything, but hope this is helpful to you guys.